All right, we're back another day working on the boat. Just got a couple packages in today. We got our new radio set up, 4 speakers, new head unit. It's going to go in the dash, and then all of our new pistons. So we're getting 0 compression basically for every cylinder, and I think it's pretty clear why. So we got the nice new ones here, new piston rings and all that. So this is the 3rd set of pistons I've had to order. Every other one has been the wrong size, but these ones fit in there perfect. So be able to get those in there. I already took this all apart and honed out the cylinders. It's going to be very, very tight. Trying to get all the bearings back in, because those are the 2 holes I got to reach through in order to put the end caps back on. So still need to clean off the surfaces there. I already cleaned off the plates and all that stuff, so that's all good to go. But I think we're going to start off with throwing the radio in for now, and then we'll get working on the engine a little bit later. Alright, so we got the radio all hooked up. Turn the key on, radio clicks on, everything's all wired up. Still need to clean all that up under there. Here's the leads for the switches that we got. And then this radio does have Bluetooth, so pairs with your phone. We got the 2 speakers in the back. Those holes actually need to be drilled out a little bit bigger. The new speakers are a little bit bigger than the old ones, so we'll get that all drilled out so they fit. Same thing on this side. And then after that, we'll start working on drilling out the holes in this gray section here, so that way we can add in the other 2 speakers. Alright, cool, we got that all in. Got it all bolted down nice and tight. Still need to mess with the wiring underneath here. I'm going to end up zip tying all this stuff up. It does have a USB off of it. I'm going to end up putting that here in the glove box, so that way we have that one. And then there's also another connector that you can connect to this, which basically gives you like a smaller version of this screen that you can put somewhere else in the boat. I don't know if I'm going to use it yet, but I might end up putting it maybe somewhere like back here or up top here, just so that way you have another way of changing the music from the back side of the boat. I don't really need it, but it comes with it and it's pretty simple to install. It's just a matter of drilling the hole and bolting it in. Another spot that I was thinking about possibly putting it in is maybe back here, so that way if you're tubing and you have someone that's kind of sitting back here, there's access to the music back here. Let me show you what that looks like real quick. Alright, so this is that little separate remote You basically just drill a hole, put it anywhere else on the boat. It has like this little aux cord lead off the back. The kit does come with like a 20 or 30 foot extension. That way you can kind of plug it wherever you want. So I think I'm going to end up putting it right here. I'm going to basically bolt it in like this, so that way if anybody sitting in the back of the boat can change the music as well. And then I'll just take the cord, I'll run it underneath here, and then back behind this paneling, and then straight up to the radio. Alright, so we got the wires ran for that. I ran it underneath the seat and then back all the way across here, knocked back up to the radio. Finished putting in these other two speakers, cut the holes out and got those all put in there and wired up. Same thing with the driver's side. And then in the back side here, we did cut these holes out a little bit bigger so that way the speakers fit. So everything is all good with that now. Cool thing with this is you can use all the controls here and it'll control the radio. So I can turn it on and off. You can skip to the next song, turn the volume up. You can do everything from the back here, which is nice. And then found out that the radio is actually just powered straight off the battery. So it was always on, which I did not like. I do have some extra accessory switches here, so I ended up just wiring it over to this switch. So now I can give the radio power, and obviously shut it off once the boat's turned off. That way it doesn't drain the battery. Turn that off, and then got these switches all wired up. Again, so these are also going to be powered off of this switch. So this is just another little switch, but you can see your voltage. And then you got two USBs and then a 12-volt plug. I ended up putting all the wires and tucked all the wires up there back in the back. I have the USB switch still. I'm going to end up drilling a hole in the glove box. When I put the glove box back in, you'll have an extra USB switch there as well. Last thing to do, I really just need to clean up in here. It's kind of a mess. There's still like wood and fiberglass shavings everywhere from cutting everything out. So I'm going to work on getting that all cleaned up, and then going to start rebuilding the motor. Got the pistons in, just need to start working on getting those all bolted back in. Alright, so it's finally time to work on the motor. So old pistons are out, everything's been honed out and cleaned up. I need to press out this old shaft out of the old pistons because we need to get all of the bearings and those little end caps in there for the new ones. So I just went and bought a shop press so I can press these out. We'll get all the little bearings out, end caps, and then the connecting rod, and then we'll use all that to attach to the new pistons here. So I'm going to work on getting all of those taken apart and then all put back together. Alright, this is going to be real hard to keep these in here. I'm hoping this assembly lube will be enough to kind of hold them where they need to go. It's going to be tough getting it all to stay in here. Alright, I'm going to use this old connecting, or this old shaft here to help kind of hold it in place. This is going to be a pain. Trying to wiggle the rod around to help try and move them around, pack them in tight. Alright, so we got them all in there. Now, let's put some assembly lube in here to try and hold it. Alright, so this goes this way. These are all going to fall out as soon as I pick this up. And I picked it up as soon as I said that, and they all just fell out. Oh, I got it. All right. I have no idea. As soon as I pull this out, it's all gonna fall. Okay. It did not fall. This is gonna be a pain. All right, we're gonna use this 11mm socket. Okay. It all just fell apart. All right, so it's like a week later now. I couldn't get the pistons all put back together, and once I finally did, I noticed that the old washers that hold the needle bearings in place were too big for the new piston. So you should be able to see here the distance on the inside here on the old piston is a lot bigger than on the new ones. So I wasn't able to actually fit both of the washers in there between the wrist pin to hold everything together. So I had to order some additional parts. The new parts I ordered come with these thinner spacers, so you can see obviously the difference in size here. New ones are much smaller. It basically just comes with the new needle bearings and the new washers for them, so this will help me put them together. I just knocked out 2 of them real quick, so you can see obviously these fit in there, where before there's just no space to put the old ones in there. So we're going to work on putting the last 2 together here, and hopefully we should be good to throw them in after that. got everything put back together now. Before we try and fire it up, I just want to test the compression. We were getting like 0 psi for all of these except for the third cylinder. I think the third cylinder had like 120 psi, so just going to test again before we fire it up. Let's see. It's upside down, but you'll be able to see it moving. Getting about 140. About 140. Let's check the next one. Alright, I had to stop because it was shooting fuel out of the back, out of the fuel line. Alright, so compression's good. Just put all the spark plugs back in and the wires. Confirm that the fuel pump's working fine. The line was off the bottom of the carb there, so it was just kind of shooting out fuel a little bit, but let's crank it over and see if it starts. Take a little bit for the bowls to fill up. Let me prime it real quick. And let me get some starting fluid. Just try again. Alright, try again. Alright, so we got something. I don't think the bowls are filled yet. Alright, well that's pretty much going to wrap up this video. So we got the engine running. Everything's looking pretty good. Plenty of water coming out of the exhaust as it's running, so that's all good to see there.